collecting for most of us is a release. The statues, art prints, and figures we buy transport us back to a time and place that we remember fondly. The hobby is a direct connection to our past. The art is the stuff of our greatest imagination and wildest dreams. The artist I'm about to introduce pushes the bar with each piece he creates. His art can be considered the stuff of nightmares. His attention to detail transcends the norm. You would almost believe that he had a super heightened sense of reality. His works include such pieces as The Bat King, Devilman vs. Eamon, Carnage, and Doctor Doom. I'm very happy to introduce the very talented Caleb Nefzen. How
Thank
you doing,
you.
Caleb?
Thank you for everything. Yeah, for me this is really hard, but I think it's a great opportunity to I don't know, for people who want to know a little bit about me, I guess. I don't know. I never expect that, to be honest. But it's cool. Thank you, and for the people that are listening and watching this, thank you again for taking the time. I hope you enjoy this, and yeah, thank you for the time.
Okay, very cool. All right, so I got a series of questions here. Very simple stuff, so we can get into it. First up, I want you to let everybody know where you're from, Caleb. Where were you born, and let us know a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Colombia. I live in Bogota. I was born in Bogota as well, and I have been living here all my life. To tell you the truth, yeah, I have been traveling, but just for holidays, vacations. But all my life I have been here. Bogota is. I love Bogota. I really love it. I love the weather, the food, the people. It's okay, like everywhere, but yeah. So,
All right.
Colombia.
Cool. I like Colombia. I would definitely want to go there at some point in my life. Like I told you before, my mother was born there, so
sure.
very excited.
For sure, yeah.
One day I'll get there. All right. So I have all the questions written down because I'm an old man and I don't remember too well. So growing up, what artist inspired you?
Holy. Well, I have to start saying that I never got into art when I was younger. I was completely lost. I never knew what to do with my life, with myself. So I started looking at comic books, following the work of like Todd McFarlane. I think that was the one that catch my eye at first glance. His style was unique when he was drawing the first comics of Spawn. So I started following him, and I don't know, but to tell you the truth, sculptures, talking about sculpting, I didn't realize I liked it that much until late. I remember I did some small dolphins when I was a little boy in the school in plasticine. I did these dolphins, and all the kids around were crazy about the dolphins, and I started selling the dolphins. But it was like just for fun. I never thought this was going to be my life, at the moment. So after a while, I entered at college. I studied visual arts, and again, I the ones that always catch my interest when I study arts, visual arts, in history and everything is Michelangelo, Bernini, and Donatello. I think those are the ones that for me blew my mind. That you see the sculptures that they did, especially Michelangelo. But I guess this is the normal, unusual answer that every single sculptor are going to give. So I don't know. I think that's the three artists that I think spark something inside of me when I was in college. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. I as a kid, I was also very much into Michelangelo as a sculptor, and I used to sculpt in college also, and he was very much an inspiration for me. One of my teachers, he got to travel to Italy, and he showed me a bunch of pictures he took, and it just, like you said, it blew my mind.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Really cool stuff. And then, like you said too, Todd McFarlane, one of the best artists. Guy's amazing.
That guy is awesome. I love his first comics. They were mind-blowing for me. And I start trying to look, to be honest, with all of you that are watching this, I know about comics, but I'm not a big fan of comics. I don't follow comics. I tried with Spawn because I love the character. It was a new character, and it was a strong character. And the style of Todd McFarlane was unique at the moment. So I tried to collect several comics. I only got until 30 issue number 30, I guess, and then I couldn't follow. It's too hard to keep the stories. It's too hard to. But yeah, I love Todd McFarlane, and now one of my favorites now is Lee Bermejo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name well, but Lee Bermejo is, my God, when I saw his Joker, that graphic novel, I'm crazy. I hope one day I have to sculpt this Joker of Lee Bermejo. It's awesome.
Yeah, Lee Bermejo is very good, man. I've caught a little bit of his work at the Tokyo Comic Con recently, and yeah, that guy is amazing. Great talent.
That's awesome.
All right, so that kind of leads into one of my other questions here. So, did you always know that you wanted to be a sculptor, or did you want to do something else in your youth?
Like I told you before. No, to tell you the truth, no. I was completely lost when I was young. I tried everything. That's why I study the visual arts here. It's a career that you see everything, but in the end you don't see anything at all because they don't go in depth in anything, and it was very expensive. And I have a problem with teachers, and I learned by my own rhythm, So sometimes I felt frustrated, and it was too low for me. But I remember there was I don't know how to call it, a small course of 3D, well, not 3D, sculpting. But the sculpting in that career was more like a technical and architectural sculpting. So when they made me do some projects to all of us, to all the students, everyone took the route of doing the architectural stuff, but I didn't. I remember that I didn't want to do that, so I sculpted. I used clay. That was my first time using a clay that is hard to handle, but anyway, I did a totem of skulls with bat wings. and that was the first time that I felt something inside, like I like this. Even if the teacher, I got a bad, how to say it, grade, because I didn't do what he was expecting to do. But I love it, and that was the first time that I discovered that I like to sculpt. But then I completely forgot about it. I had to focus on real stuff, because here in my country, you don't think that the sculpting is going to leave you anywhere, because it's like you see that type of thing like only rich people do, like in their free time,
right.
Not for living. So I forget about it, and I started working in advertising, and I forget completely about it. It was later on that I find out how it's to be focusing on sculpting and everything. So, yeah. So no, I don't know if I answered the question. I'm sorry.
No, you did very good. Yeah, I completely understand. Very cool. Okay, so the work that you do now, is it influenced by your past, or is it much research that you do now to get the style that you have, or what brings your your style and imagination now?
Okay. To tell you the truth, to tell you the truth, when people approach me and say to me that I have a certain style, I don't get it. I don't know what style I have, so I don't know. But to answer more or less your question, I think every single piece I make, and I think every single artist will relate with this. When I make a statue, a single project, I think you put all your soul and all your sentiments and feelings in the piece. So I have to be honest, and I think this is not. People know about this. I had difficult times when I start doing the business of sculpting collectibles. So I don't know. I think to reply to your answer, yeah, I use things from the past, but I don't like to think too much about in the past. That's silly because that's gone. But yeah, I think I use a lot of the experience I'm having right now in the moment. If I'm experiencing something hard, I think you will notice that in the sculpt. So, but I think I'm not the only one that thinks or do these kind of things. I think all artists use their feelings and sentiments when they or they have to make a piece.
All right, very true.
Yeah,
I get that. Okay, yeah. So let's move on a little bit away from sculpting. What do you like to do in your off time, man? What do you do to recharge?
Really, my life is sculpting. That's a very boring answer, but what I like to do if if I'm not sculpting, I guess is what the people are doing now, common days. Before it wasn't that common, but I like to play video games if I have the time. But now I have little time to do that. I like to watch movies. The experience on the cinema is becoming a little annoying because people are becoming more, I don't know, ignorant, and they use cell phones and they don't care, and they take out the cell phone in the middle of the movies. I try to go to the late showings because no one goes there and I can watch the movie in the cinema. What else? I like to walk a lot. I like to take big walks during the night or in the afternoon. I just like to walk. I like to read. Because of time, I have been away of reading, but I like to do a lot of research about some or certain topics that I find interesting. What else? I like to spend time with my family if I can. They live really close here, so yeah, I'm almost all the time I'm here at home, just working and trying to do the best I can with each piece. That's it.
Cool. When you play video games, what games are you into?
There's one that I love. That's Skyrim. It's kind of old, but when I have the chance, I play it. Skyrim, yeah. And I have a big list of new games. To tell you the truth, I'm playing old games from 10 years ago because 10 years ago I stopped playing games. I was struggling in my life trying to move forward with what I wanted to do. So to tell you the truth, I'm playing, you know which game I'm playing now? I'm playing Dead Space.
That is a pretty old game.
Pretty old game. The number one, even, yeah. I just finished Mass Effect. I love that series, but I remember I only played number 1 and 2, half of the 2. So I never get the chance to finish all the series. So I'm trying to finish it now, but I don't know when. I'm playing also. There's a good game that is kind of new. That's Alien Isolation. I'm saving that game to playing it on VR. I think the experience playing that game on VR will be awesome, interesting. The Witcher. I'm playing The Witcher 1, but they are really old games, so you don't have to ask me about new games because I don't have a clue. I don't have any idea of new games.
No problem, man. I'm in the same boat. I think ever since I started doing these videos, I've just like I had to throw my gamer card away. I haven't had a chance to play any games.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
All right. So one of my favorite pieces of yours is the Bat King. I mean, that is an original take. I really like the dark and gritty feel of that character. So, question is that I noticed that is kind of something that is common amongst your pieces. They're kind of like on the dark side a little bit. So is that your comfort zone, or is that just that the studios are requesting that you make those pieces?
Well, the Bat King. Well, the Bat King, yeah, is the one piece that I really like because I had all the freedom to do the concept of the sculpture. I think companies and studios are learning about myself, I guess, a little bit. If you ask me, yeah, I like dark stuff. I like the gritty things. I think they have more depth to them. But I'm not close to do any other kind of characters or stuff. You know? It's like I guess I can do anything. I really like to do anything, from cartoon characters or very how to say it. I don't know, like characters that are more lighter and they don't have that depth that other characters have. But if you ask me what I prefer, I always prefer, characters that have depth, that they have something interesting. And companies, I think they are getting that I'm inclining for that route of, I don't know, gritty stuff. But I don't want to be closed in a box that I don't do anything more than that. I can do, and I like to do anything. So yeah. But for preference, I guess, I like that kind of dark stuff.
All right. Hey, I'm all about the dark side. I like Batman, so.
Yeah.
All right. The other sculpt that you have that is another one of the latest big hits is the Devilman vs. Eamon by Figurama Collectors. And also the Slain that you did, that was also a very cool one. And the Doctor Doom on Throne. I think those were all very awesome pieces that you've done. One of the other things that I've noticed about your work is the very high attention to detail when it comes to the texture work and all of those little meticulous details that, I as a person, I never really notice that when I see things. I look at somebody's shirt and I don't pay attention to like the fibers of the shirt, but you seem to capture those things. So is that something that you just see the world in that way, or do you do research? What's your process when it comes to sculpting these statues with that high intense detail?
Okay. Well, when I have a project and they gave me a character, I tend to do a lot of research on the character, because, like I told you before, to the people that are watching this, I don't quite follow comics, so sometimes they gave me a character that I don't have any idea who he is, like Moon Knight. I didn't have any idea of who he is or what he do, if he was a villain or was a hero. So when I do a character, I tend to study a lot. I do a lot of research. I tend to study and read a lot of his comics, their comics. If they have movies, I watch the movies. If they have animes, I watch the animes, and I repeat the scenes time after time. Or I tend to I spend a lot of time watching the drawings of the character and to get the feeling of the character. Also, I try to understand how he is or how she is, what's the story behind the hero or the villain. Um, and once I get all the information that I want, that maybe took me, I don't know, it sounds crazy maybe, but 1 week. I tend to spend 1 week doing research about single character. And when I started sculpting, one thing that I always try to do in the sculptures is you are telling a story, you are telling something to the people that are watching the sculpture. So for me, it's not only the character that you are telling the story about. Is every single piece that the character has their own story. That's when you put a T-shirt or you use a ring or something. Every single thing that you have has a story. So I try to think every single piece I make, it has to have some kind of story. So that's why I try to detail, because I'm trying to tell a story of each piece. I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but yeah, that's the way.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, research is definitely key. That's cool. It translates in the work. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for my questions, but I did have some questions from the Marvelous Statues group. I wrote them down, and some of the guys, wanted to find out, so we kind of already answered the question a little bit as far as your comic characters go, because you said that you're not too familiar with comic characters, but Kale Minato wanted to know if you had to pick a DC or Marvel character that you liked to sculpt, or which is your favorite?
Oh, okay. Well, DC characters. My favorite character is obviously Batman. I think it's kind of weird because everyone has Batman as his favorite now. I remember one time that no one likes Batman at all. When I was like a teenager, it was weird to find people that like Batman. But now everyone likes Batman. And for that reason, everyone is making Batmans a lot. So if I have to choose now, which other character of DC Comics I would like to do? I don't know. Someone that is like, well, there's one in Marvel Comics that I really like. That one I can say that I hope one day I can make it, because it's really interesting to me visually, and the story is kind of interesting. I don't know. It's the Ghost Rider, but it's the Ghost Rider that is on a horse.
Yeah. I like that Ghost Rider. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to think of his name at the moment, but I can't remember it at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's awesome. I like the character of that Ghost Rider especially. So that will be for Marvel. For DC, I have to go with the Joker. I'm sorry, but maybe it's a boring answer, but I have to go with the Joker. Joker is a character that has a lot of depth, and the craziness that he has is amazing in the comics. So I wish one day I have the opportunity to sculpt the Joker. Yeah.
Cool. I like the Joker also. Very cool character.
Yeah.
All right. Joe Kaneki, I know I'm messing these guys' names up.
Okay.
He wants to know, of your sculpts, what do you consider your favorite? The best one that you made.
The best one I made. Okay. Um, I don't think I can choose, and especially no. It's hard to answer that question. I guess it's. I cannot choose. Like I told you before, to the people that are watching, I think if I ever have to choose one before the others, it has to be the Bad King. But not only because of the design, it was my own concept. Uh, it's because it opened the doors for me. That's why it's more special than the others, I guess. Because thanks to the Bad King, I got the first opening job in ARH studios. I started getting more recognition because of the Bad King. I never thought about it. I did that piece for it was a contest, uh, and yeah, I don't remember. Uh, Game Artisans was the contest. Yeah, so I did it, and that's it. And I put it in my portfolio, and I don't know. I didn't expect that to get a lot of recognition because of that piece. So that opened the doors for me into the collectible business, and yeah. Besides that, I was completely free on doing the concept and the pose and everything. So yeah, that's maybe the answer that I can give. Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
All right.
So,
Let's see. So Sing Duong asked, what for you was the most difficult project that you had to work on? Hard questions here.
no, that's interesting. Okay, the hardest one. I have two, but one of them I cannot disclose because um, it won't be doing any good for the company that I made that piece. So, but yeah, that's one, and the other one I have to say is Devilman, Amon versus Devilman. When I was doing that piece, I was completely sick, mentally, spiritually. I was down, completely down. I was down in all aspects. It was another death I had. Um, so when I was working that piece, I was completely messed up, and then I got sick, really physically. I got sick, and I don't know. The deadline was really tight. The project was really big, really complex. Um, it was very demanding to do. So I'm really happy that finally it came out good and people like it and the client is happy. Figurama, I love that company. They are really cool guys. They supported me a lot, and I have to be honest. I'm very calm. I'm very quiet. I don't have bad temper at all. I'm very calm. I don't like to argue anything or anything with people. I try to settle down things easily. But that time, I was completely I don't know what's the word, but I was irritated. So those guys at Figurama, they were really kind and they were very supportive and they had a lot of patience with me. So special thanks to them because I was on the edge. I remember that well. So that's why I love Figurama. It's a great company. They are doing great projects. I hope you people see what we are doing now. Next year will be interesting. So yeah, I think that's going to be the piece that I can say is hard.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I love that piece. Figurama's a great company. Did a great job on that one too. So,
Yeah.
all right, last question, man. This is it. So Jose Navarro wanted to know what you would recommend for an upcoming artist, like an upcoming sculptor. Where would you recommend them to start?
Okay. I have to say, discipline is the first thing. Self-commitment. Be aware that you have to make a lot of sacrifices if you want to move forward. It's not easy. It's not easy. You have to learn a lot about yourself, first of all. And after that, I think the common things like learning anatomy, study 3D, Maya, ZBrush, 3D Max, you know? And to practice all the time. You know, never stop learning, never stop experimenting. One thing that I do is experimenting a lot. Sometimes I'm working on a project and I don't know how I'm going to do certain things, and I just experiment. And sometimes it's a good result, and sometimes you lost the time, but you learn about yourself and about the work you were doing. So, yeah, I think just be conscious about it and don't stop. Don't stop. That's another thing. Don't put yourself down. Don't go down, because a lot of people tend to quit very easily with anything. And sculpting is enjoyable, but it's also hard sometimes. And yeah, also there's a lot of awful competition that I don't really like. The business, like in everything, no. So you have to be aware of that. That some people play really dirty when they want, and companies also, as well, they can play really dirty. So you have to be aware with those things. But yeah, I hope I answered that. Yeah.
All right, that was a good job. All right, well, that's all the questions that I have. I really appreciate you for hanging out with us. I know it's the holidays and we're all busy, you know, and especially you have, I know you have a lot of projects that you have to get to, so I really appreciate the time that you spent here with us, Caleb.
No problem.
So
it's okay.
All right. So happy holidays to you, and you know, I really appreciate it, like I said, and we'll talk soon, okay, man?
Okay, thank you everyone that watched this. Thank you, yeah, for your time, for this. I really appreciate it. I really thank for the people that really are watching this and take the time to listen to me. And I hope it was enjoyable. And see you soon. See you later. I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Back to the show.